All right, gonna do a little refresh here on the stock market chameleon, see if anything else has popped up. Cameron and Rebecca and RJ, let me know. Freaking out this morning. We want to know. Gotta be up over 20%. I mean, really, you have some discretion up over 50%. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's do. Oh, Cameron, have you worked on the sheet yet? I think it's auto sorting, but maybe not. I'm not sure. Next up, yeah. All right. In the Okay. Good morning, everybody. Let's take a look at the entire market here. So the markets are potentially going to open such that they break yesterday's high. Today may result in an up day on the market then. But that's not a foregone conclusion. There's been several breaks of prior highs that resulted in down days this year. But what to note is that there's only been one meaningful rally this year that came off of a break of yesterday's high out of 10 breaks of yesterday's high. So there's a 90% chance that we're going to go either sideways, just smidgen up for 2 days, I guess tomorrow, the rest of this week, or down from here. 90% chance. And there's a 90% chance that it's not going to result in a meaningful rally. So don't get too excited to try to get into anything right now thinking you're going to miss the bottom. Don't worry about getting the bottom. It's much better to get in when there's confirmation and miss a little bit of the move and then take a move on confirmation. So, but if we do break today's high and we do start running, if we were to break even like say the prior day's high the same day, so 2 previous days highs in one day, that will be a pretty strong signal to get in. So those are the levels that we would be watching out for on QQQ, on SPY, on the industrials, etc. But the energy sector continues to be pretty bullish. It did break the 200. The 50 moving average and closed below it a couple days ago, and it's trying to reclaim that level. So we'll see if it can. In the meantime, coal. I don't know if we have a coal ETF here. Coal index, Dow Jones coal, that could work, or NASDAQ coal index. Coal is very bullish and very strong, remains very strong above the 200, hasn't closed below the 50. Today is going to open above the 21. That's a strength. That's a sign of extreme strength. And if you want a good coal pick in there, there's Arch, ARCH, which is breaking out right now of a recent shakedown, and AMR, which today could potentially break out. Now, looking at the whole market, oil is at yesterday's close of 102. And so that's keeping the energy sector relatively unchanged, other than supply shortage resulting, supply shortage in natural gases and coal and alternatives. Rates this morning, that's going to be another driver of things, are moving up. So they closed yesterday at 2.82% on the 10-year, 2.82%. And they've been grinding up slightly. They're now at around 2.88%. So not a huge change, but it's direction. And it's definitely 4 points to an uptrend, and it's grinding up. So that's enough to put some pressure on the Qs this morning. So increased pressure on growth and the Qs. Today may be a value day. You might see XLP and XLU have another decent day, or sideways, comparatively strong to growth going down. And in fact, the industrials and the Dow are up above yesterday's close and near yesterday's high, and the S&P 500 sitting similarly. But the S&P 500 grinding down off of its pre-market high, as well as growth. So the strongest, relatively speaking, sector and industry and index are the industrials and inflation. And financials are up above yesterday's high to open. So XLF, XLI, and you'll probably see some appreciation today in base materials, XLB. So it's like, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you possibly got into stock trading and everything was about stocks, fucking companies, businesses, stocks. Wow, they were amazing. Businesses, well, that's over. So you now need to get hot about commodities, fucking cows, corn, sugar, coal, oil, energy, banks, money, base materials, copper, gold, metal. Don't be late to that game. That's the game right now. For the last 6 months, that's been the game. Maybe even a year. They overlapped, and as inflation continues to occur, that's the play. And as inflation continues to occur, growth is not. So, wise up, make sure you're in the right tickers if you'd like to make money. And it's not a foregone conclusion to take shorts, because shorts do come with inverted risk reward and can provide less return than if you can find longs out there. So it's still much better to find longs and go long than it is ever to go short. However, that said, moving down to individual stock picks today, TDOC is down roughly 50% on what seems to be bad earnings report. So that may be a short today. You'll be looking to short below. You can take the 5-minute opening range breakdown if that happens. You might be wondering, but what about if it tries to fill the gap? Well, then if it doesn't break down in the first 5 minutes, don't go short. If it breaks up out of the 5-minute range, go long. And there you'll be able to potentially get in for the gap fill. If it doesn't gap fill, let's say it goes in that direction and then it does not gap fill, then you can use pivot point trading in order to get out at the proper point, which at the worst would be the low of that opening range on your entry. So the low of your entry on the opening range there. At best, it would be some higher pivot point. And then you can reverse on the breakdown, especially at the breakdown of pre-market low, which currently is 3070. If you can remember that, 3070. So if you can get TDOC below 3070, if it goes that way, there could be a really nice free fall drop today. And also, you should be sizing yourself so that you have room to add at the end of the day, or add tomorrow on continuation, and then let it run from there. So you don't want to be going whole hog. No, I'm not bullish. Why would I be bullish? Why would anybody be bullish? And this market is bearish right now. You don't want to be bullish. All right, we've got 3 minutes until the market opens, and IDAI remains our strongest momentum mover this morning. TDOC short with the 5-minute opening range, as I mentioned, as an opportunity. We're also looking at OST for day 2 IPO continuation. However, I do believe that that's going to dip down. Let me take a look at the analysis on that. OST, I guess it closed yesterday at 39.66, so it may not dip down to the 30s. So you got to watch out for OST. It may be breaking out of another level in pre-market here. 38.40. If it were to break 40, that could signal an entry on OST. I think that from what I read, they're a sports drink powder company. So there must be very few shares that they put in this pool. I don't know what the market cap is right now. Let's take a look. It doesn't even register, and I don't have shares information, at least on that system. Does anybody know what the total outstanding shares is on OST? You've got 1 minute and 43 seconds for you to get me that. Somebody. $14 million? Okay, 14 million. So 14 million times $40 a share. It's a $500 million valuation on this company. Austin Technology. You're like, what? What drink powder are they talking about? It's just like, I don't think that they're gonna be able to maintain a $500 million market share right out of the bat. All right, thanks. But we'll see. All right, we've got 57 seconds until the market opens. Definitely. So I think my point there is don't day trade OST. Don't day trade unless you have more than $30,000 in your account. Don't day trade OST because you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught where you need to get out, and you're not gonna want to get out because you don't want to use up one of your day trades. Because you're going to think, oh man, but what if it goes further? This is why you do not day trade with less than $30,000 in your account, because you need to have the unlimited ability to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out as many times as possible so that you can make rational decisions. Do not day trade if you have less than $30,000 in your account. You will lose because you won't be able to act properly. All right, here we go. 10 seconds to the open. And on that encouraging note, think ahead. Yes, think ahead. Okay, OST is, yes, it's already over 40. It hit 42 and potential halt at 42.90. It's at the halt. It's moving towards the halt level now. Volume is somewhat light, I have to say. Somewhat light on that. It is not even near the halt level yet. It's at 42, hitting 42. It's hitting 39. It's going back and forth, $3 worth of volatility. You definitely want to get about $8 to your 1%, using the 1% rule on that one. RCMT is opened way up high and is pulling back right now. A quick look at coal. Arch down just a smidge at the open. AMR at yesterday's close at the open. There goes OST breaking to 44 and wiggling around between the bid and the ask around 40. That's back to 42. Not a lot of volume. In fact, there's more volume to the downside right now, so you'd want to be out. You see, this is why you want to be able to day trade, because now OST has completely erased all those gains and is moving to the downside. Might pick up, might not. But if you can't defend your money, then you shouldn't be throwing it in the market. Because it's not the market's money, it's fucking yours. And you need to be able to defend it. So anyway, OST is now hitting 38. 37 is the next halt point. 37, 38 may halt to the downside. Meanwhile, IDIA is getting close to breaking over 7, and that is the point. We're halting to the downside on OST. That is the point on IDAI, in which you can get into 7. There it is. It's touching 7. We needed to break over 7 to clear 7. But you can certainly get in just underneath 7 as you see 7 ready to break. 6.99, 6.99. Okay, here comes 6.96, 9799. Needs to break through a 7, 99, and then break through 7. I'm sure a lot of people are lifting their asks at 7. However, it's struggling to get through that 7 level. It's going to need to break 7 in order to break up and out and potentially run easily to 750. 699, 7. Here we go. Here we go. All right. 7's definitely weakening. Okay. And there's the break. 710, 720. We hit 720 already. We are up and over 720, 734. Make sure you're taking profits out along these ways at these different points. At every 25-cent level on stocks between $5 and $10, you want to be taking like a 10 or a 20% profit. RJ knows. Be like RJ. 737 high we've hit now, 733, 730, 732, 738, 740. There we go, 745, 748. All right, so now we're at that 750 level, which is could be a lot of resistance there or a fake out. This is where you want to take the majority of your profits and then get back in if it breaks. So that was the break over 750 to 769. Oh, it is definitely running, and we're now hitting 799. We hit $8 on IDAI. We gotta switch over to that on my main chart here. I feel like a sports commentator. This is like really running. Can we get over 8? 8 is a target level that everybody seems to want to get out at. A ton of selling going on underneath the 8 level. And demand is not able to usurp the supply. And so now we're falling back to 740, 730, 737, 750, starting to pick up some demand down there. People who liked it, liked selling it at 780 are now attracted to it at 750. So there is some demand there at the 750 level, but that psychology could change as time progresses. 750 could be seen as expensive, and people looking to for it to be at 7 again. So it just depends. It depends on how long it hangs out at a certain level. Over time, something will become more expensive in appearance or cheap in appearance. We're getting close to 8 now. 790. There's 8. Okay, we hit 8 again. There's some stop orders at 8. But I do believe it's going to break through 790, 785. If it can tap it, if it can keep pushing on 8, we'll break through all those stop orders. Some people just believe that's the top, and they do not want they do not want to play around and put a sell order any higher. So they say 8, that's it. That's my brick wall. That's where I get out. And so you've got to blast through those orders. And if demand is not enough to break through that supply, then there's not enough people jumping to this stock. There's not enough people interested in what's going on to overcome that supply. And all you have is one patty cake. That's it, and it's over. So we'll see. We'll see if it can break over 8. Oh, it did. It broke over 8.05. So that's really the resistance level to get through, 8.05. So I do believe we will be able to get through that 8 level. All right, here we go. 790, 789. 794. $787, $789, $790. Recency bias. I love it. Yeah, exactly. Recent. Did you just make that up, or is that a thing? I haven't heard of that before. By the way, yeah, OST is halted, indicating to open at 42. That's what it says right now. Yeah, so IDAI is seen as $8 seems to be seen as expensive. It's hanging out around 750, keeps getting bought up at 750. So 775 is, the mean level right now. 8 too expensive, 750 good price. So 775 is like expected price. Okay, it's going to try for 8 again. So 778, 780, 783, 85, 80. I don't think anybody selling is very scared, so I do believe they're going to lift their asks, and we're going to get a blue sky break here. And probably hit 859 very easily once we break that 8 level. I think sellers realize that 8's going to be touched again, so they're either going to keep their order up there at 8, not lower it, or they're going to raise it, lift it. OST is halted at 46.48. It's halting. You have seconds to get in. It's back to 43. Very volatile OST. Hell of a volatile stock. I mean, it's from 37 to 47. The whiplash on that very huge. You want to have only a very small position. Now, as we hit 748 on IDAI, sellers are going to get worried. Wait, maybe we won't see 8 again. So now you're going to see 25 to 50% of everybody who had orders at 8 and we're hoping for blue sky breakout start to dump. They're going to start dumping right now, and if there's no demand to match, then we're heading back to 7, maybe even 675 on IDAI. So you might see increased selling to the downside, but that's going to be good because then it's going to change hands into people who now think that 7 where they got in is cheap. That's why they got in. They bought it there thinking it's cheap. So now they're thinking I'm going to get out at 8. No one else is thinking about getting out at 7 now. See, so it flips. Psychology is constantly rotating. Oh yeah, if you got someone messaging you by my name or my account name, that's a scammer. Don't respond. Report them. There's hundreds of scammers who copycat my account. Both YM. I do manual get out and automatic getting out. It just depends, how fast the thing is moving. Typically, 80% chance I do it manually. 20% chance that I go in and I start to put orders on a ladder system, a tiering, taking out at different levels. We did break down the 750 psychological level on IDAI, and so now we're testing 7s. So again, money has changed hands. Now 750, 775 is probably seen as expensive and the point in which to take profits, and $7 is considered cheap, and that's where everyone wants to get in. But overall, what you see here is a breakdown in the amount of people required to psychologically make the price go higher. So it's not enough. There's not enough volume to match with the psychology needed to do patty caking. It's just, there's not enough. There's not even enough people to hold, make it go up, so that demand can just be happening underneath the whole time. You're having this patty caking, which says, "Nah, fuck it. Here's my shares," and so very dangerous stock. IDAI. Watch your stops. Mr. M says Stab did do a pivot break. That is correct. Point like 3.8, something around there. OST looks like there we go. It's breaking the high again, 47.65 and halting. This is a halt level, 47.65. Pulled back. The halt level did not initiate. Next halt level, 48.12. So OST trying to move up, but it's so volatile that it keeps triggering those limits, those upper limits, and that's good and bad. It's limiting its ability to go crazy, which is causing people to worry. And especially anytime that it goes into a halt, everybody starts worrying. And if it takes longer to resolve the imbalances, you get people getting really scared. So IDAI sort of falling out of favor. It might have, one last hurrah here, but I don't believe it has enough with the patty caking, quote unquote patty caking, to hold. So it may have enough to be able to fake out. Maybe it'll hit that 859, but you need to be really fast to take your profits on that because it's weak, very weak. What did I say, Mr. M? Oh, pivot break. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's important. I mean, both are important. Yeah, here comes stab, getting close to high of day now. I mean, the pre-market high. STAB. It is a ultra penny stock though. Went from the low today of 0.34 to now 0.44. So that's what, 25% or so. That's pretty good. Oh, and it looks like it's pulling back now. Be hard. These stocks are just not liquid enough. You know, there's just not enough people excited about these stocks. Tesla on a downslide. Who got TeleDoc on the 5-minute breakdown? Tesla now at 855, 853, at 852, and dropping. TeleDoc, oh, it created a 5-minute range. Okay, it hasn't broken down the 5-minute range yet. That's why there's no entry on TeleDoc yet. TDOC needs to break 29. You see the bottom edge, 29.50. Might want to wait until it breaks 29.30. You could plant some seeds long here, like if you think it might gap fill. This is an excellent risk reward area to go long because you can get in at 29.80 and get out at 29.40. 40 cents of risk for long side. And if it flips, sell flip, right? And then just grab shorts at 29.40, 29.50, 29.30, somewhere over there, and take it to the short side. So far, it's looking like it's equalized, and it might not break out at all. It will. It'll break in some direction. Just be ready to take it, to take whatever direction that is. But like I'm saying, is right now is a great time to plant seeds long or to be ready to go short any minute. You know what I'm saying? So we're really close to that area. And IDAI is failing out, not gonna make it. So it did was unable to get above that 775 psychological mid-priced level, and now is failing out and is probably going to fail 7. Therefore, it might compact from 7 to 7.5 for a little while, thinking 725 is the average price, but it's failing, being seen as expensive at every turn, more and more expensive, and it's going to fail out, and it's going to get back down to 675, 650 most likely. I trade on Thinkorswim. What did you say? T non halted? Was that from yesterday? Got an alert on Swivel, CYN, Kirk. Let's take a look at them. Kirk. Yeah, Kirk looks very good from 7 to 775. Really nice parabolic push up there. Low volume, however, but it is a bigger name. So KIRK could be a bit of an appreciation there run. The other one is CYN, which has been happening lately. CYN dropped to 3, but it's trying to make a run to get back close to 4 almost already. OST leveling off at around 44. Not much going on there, and not a lot of volume, frankly, and not a lot of money being pushed into that stock. Just can't do it. Instead of IDAI, I'll take a look at Swivel, SWVL. Swivel went from 7 to 8. Swivel's currently almost about to break 8. When it does break 8, that's going to ignite, new levels, new psychological levels. Getting really close, 796. You got to be more specific than that. What do I think about Tesla today? It depends on what you're asking about, you know. Like in one respect, I could say nothing, no different than yesterday, you know. But in another, like day trader respect, Swivel SWVL broke the $8 level and now hitting 825 SWVL. Swivel may potentially try to touch 950.10, those previous levels, trying to get to 10. Swivel's been trying to get to 10 for days. $9 might be that mid average psychologically perceived price for Swivel right now. $9. So you might be looking to get in around 8 and out around 950, or in, yeah, around here, out around 9. Yeah, Tesla's down today. AMR with a pretty testy pullback. That's not looking outstanding. Arch bouncing a little bit better in coal than AMR. I'm going to shave off some of my AMR. But still, in general, it's in a good uptrend in the last couple of days. Overall, it might be breaking down. Hope to see further progress. Well, tomorrow will tell. It doesn't look like today's going to be its day. You're late. What's the play? I think we were looking at TDOC. SWVL now hitting 839, 840, 844, 846, 847. All right, so it's working its way up there. Volume is a little bit sketchy at only 60,000 a minute. 60,000 shares a minute. That's really not a lot. I mean, you know, ExxonMobil should have great earnings, but it's going to be about the guidance because it's at where it's at now. You know, everyone understanding that it's going to have great earnings, and it's at where it's at now. But what's going to be the guidance? So, you know, that's the uncertainty. So just take it tomorrow after the earnings come out. Just don't gamble with your money. The market is dropping, growth is dropping. As I mentioned, industrials holding steady. Financials actually are correcting just a little bit. So rates are hanging out around 2.84. And yet growth is like, forget it. So I think possibly they didn't even make it over yesterday's high. Oh, it did, just a smidge. Okay. But if we break below yesterday's close, that's a very negative day. Yesterday's close was on QQQ was 316.76. So just remember 316.75, you know, roughly 316 and 3/4, 316 and 3/4. Certainly 317 should give you some alarm. Cause for alarm. But whether or not we consolidate or have a little bit of a higher break a little bit higher than yesterday's high, overall we're in a channel, we're in a downtrend. That hasn't changed. And so continue to preserve your cash. Wait for, go do something else. Take a break from the market and wait. Wait for it. TDOC is halted, but I don't think it moved, did it? That's interesting. That could be a news halt. Point. 7%. Okay, no, it was a volatility triggered halt. Just barely. Totally undeserving. Like, it's just protecting it from panic. And in this case, it went up after dropping, which is that's a really odd halt. It's sort of like saying, hey, don't get too excited. We're going down. Anyway, it is indicated to open at 31.5. But did it break that level we were talking about? Yes, just barely. So if you went short at 29, 20, 29, I'm sorry, yeah, 29, 40 in that region there, I still think you're probably in good shape. You do want to set your stop to about 32. All right, let's see if there's any other alerts. Otherwise, that's probably it for the morning session. Yeah, OST not really happening. IDAI failing out. CYN is making its way back to 4, so that's got some movement. CYN. Maybe it'll break 4 and pop to whatever it's been doing. It's been really testing 4 the last few days, I think. Let's see. CYN wants to break 4, but it has tried, I think, almost 3 times now. The third time, so we'll see what happens. If it can do it and it can break yesterday's high, okay, it's going to go to like 480. Here it comes. It's at 387. And Swivel has halted at, what is that? 9, indicating to open at 10. Who's in Swivel? SWVL. All right, Randy's in. Everybody's in Swivel. SWVL. There you go. That's turning out to be the play of the day right there. Indicating to open at 10. And TDOC is open now. And it's getting sold off. 31 and now 30.8, now 30.7, 30.6. Might just settle in this like at 30 here. With all these halts protecting it. Okay, we're coming out of the halt in 1 minute around 1 minute in 45 seconds on Swivel, SWVL, indicating to open at 10. That's the level it's been waiting to get through. All right, 20 seconds until it opens. Going to open at the 30-second mark, you guys who are watching your clocks. 12 seconds at the 30-second mark. Comes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. And all right, so they're still trying to resolve those imbalances. So it could open any second on you. Meanwhile, CYN continuing to make its move up. Oof, break 4. setting up some ladder orders. There it goes. CYN broke 4. Day may be the day. It gets up to 450. Maybe tests going to 5. Looks like it's halting. CYN getting really close to halting at 417. It's pulled back just a little bit. Short Facebook here. Not unless it's putting out a short signal. Let's see. Just take the 5-minute opening range for signals. If you think it's going to go and fill the gap, just take the 5-minute opening range. Breakdown. Swivel, still waiting to get those imbalances resolved. Indicating to open at 10. Might want to set up a ladder for selling on that. Action could be really fast. Thing. And there goes TDOC down. Should do. Peak. Go test the lows again, it looks like. It's not going to halt this time. It's a little bit smoother action. Go test 29. With 50% correction already. Yeah. Massive failure with TDOC. And or it may just end up gap filling for the next week or two. Or not just fully filling, but attempting, to do some gap fill. SWVL, we're still watching it, indicating to open at 10 still. OST halting to the upside at 44.19. You got about 10 seconds to get in before the halt if you're interested. OST halting to the upside at 44.19. About 5 seconds left before the halt. OST halted. Yeah, OST is a son of a bitch. Yeah. It just wants 40, 42, It just 10 times it's not going to work, and then one time it's going to break and run, and you'll have lost everything you're going to make the 10 times it didn't work, So some stocks you just should let go. It's not a beautiful thing. Stay away from it. In life. Swivel came out of the halt, hit 11.17, is now sitting at 10.60, so it's selling off, a lot of profit taking. 10.44, 10.50, starting to be seen as a good price. It's starting to find some support at 10.50, 10.44, 1050, 1044, seems to be hanging around that 1050 level. Swivel. And it's now pulling back to the 10s. That's been too overpriced, is the consensus at the moment. And everyone who was in is now selling to those who would rather get in at 10. And others are like, fuck, okay, take it. So the expensiveness and the cheapness is changing hands, and that perception will change soon here. So if you can catch the dip at the right price, it's halting to the downside right now, 920, 955. So you know, potentially you could try buying into this one, into this halt down. Maybe this will be the bottom and be considered cheap at this point. 955, halting and almost halted. Boom, halted. Indicating to open at 880 at the moment. That can change. All right, Randy, did you even get out at a profit? Well, probably a little, but what was the majority? What was your average exit there on swivel? Did you have some ladder set up? How high did you set your ladder? Past 11 to 12 or just to 11? I mean, I know you had to figure it was going to try and get up to 11. It was indicating to open at 10. It was probably going to get all the way to 1099, right? So you probably laddered all the way up there. Nailed the ladder exits. Last fill was 10.9. Perfect. Yeah. Excellent. Are you trading with real money, Randy? Small account, medium account? How's everything going? Small account challenge, you could say. You could say. So to me, that sounds like about, I'm going to read your psychology here. Less a laugh. Okay, so it's a little less than I thought. 1,450 bucks? How close am I? I'm guessing 1,450 bucks. Oh, more. Okay, good. Well, good. I'm very proud of you, Randy. This is because he's from Texas. So here, you know, a lot of money is kind of just funny. Anyway, I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad it's more. I'm glad it's more. Hope it's working out, you know, for you. You certainly have worked hard. You're the model trader here. Got to be doing good things. You just need more money, huh? You should go work for a prop firm. You know about that? Maybe you don't know about that. Apply to work at a prop firm. Okay. They'll give you, you know, $100,000, $1 million. They train you for a couple months, depending on how you perform. Then you can start to keep the money. So, you know, a certain percentage of it. But you know, prop traders only make between 80 and 150,000 a year anyway. But hey, at least you're using their money and not yours, I guess. But it just becomes like a job. But I think the benefit there, obviously, the real upside is all that training, all that rigorous review, you know, the rule creating, mentorship. I'd go to a place, if you were thinking of doing that, I'd go to a place that had a ton of mentorship. Let's see. There's SMB Capital. There's can't recall the name, but anyway, yeah. It's just look around. Just look for prop trading. Halting to the downside now on OST at 36, indicating to open at 10. What the fuck? Is that for real? Are you seeing this, you guys? 0. It's actually indicating to open at 0 right now. That can't be right. I've never seen that before, though. I got to take a screenshot of this. This is hilarious. Oh, indicating to open at 3 now. Well, hold on. I wish I could have got it at 0. Oh, man, that's crazy. At least I got it indicating to open at $3 now. Now, that, to me, that's a little bit more realistic. You know what a powdered drink company might be trading at. Oh, my God. Powdered drink company indicating to open at $3 while halted. OST. Anyway, it's indicating to open at 10 again. Oh my god. Let's go take a look at the market. Swivels in that down halt still indicating to open around 9. I don't know if anybody bought into it, but when it's halting down, it's very easy to buy at the ask. And when things are halted up, it's very easy to sell to the bid. So, a market order. So anyway, maybe some of you bought at 9.55 during the halt down. It looks like that might not be the lowest price that it goes to. It's indicating to open at 9.04 right now. But these halt downs can cause excessive price cheapness in the perception of the demand, and so they can pop up and retrace 25%. They certainly might hit like halfway between top and bottom of the previous range, whatever that was. So let's take a look at the market. Market kind of hanging out in the wick of yesterday, and yesterday's wick. So consolidating in the wick of a prior day, if it's in the bullish part of the wick, can be a really good sign. It can be very healthy. It's just cleaning up. It's just the rotating is continuing, but it can be a bullish sign. Consolidating inside the wick of a prior day. And that's what the market's doing, at least on the Qs. Let's go over to SPY. Yep, SPY exactly the same, consolidating within the wick. And let's take a look at the industrials, which might be a different story. It's consolidating. However, it is into the body now a little bit. So actually, the industrials a little bit weaker today in that sense. All right, you guys, I'm going to take my first break of the morning session. I'm going to have some breakfast, a little more breakfast. And so I'll catch you in the trading group. Don't forget to post your gains. If you have any gains, go to the post your gains section, post your gains. If you'd like to join others in the live trader lounge, you can do so. You can share your screens with each other. You guys can watch things together. You can go on voice, on mic, and on webcam, and you can talk with each other and trade together. As we get more and more members in the group, eventually that's going to be where we hang out, and I'll do my morning sessions there. So get used to it. Hang out there, live trader lounge. That's going to be the hot place to be hanging 24/7 pretty much eventually. All right. Have a good morning, everybody. See you in the group.